Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Benanin, and for today's video we're going to be doing another sunscreen review. Today we'll be reviewing a Korean sunscreen from the brand Scinic. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Scinic, one of the two. This is their Enjoy Super Mild Sun Essence. It's an SPF 50+ with a PA of 4+. You get about 50 milliliters of product. I purchased mine from YesStyle, and at the time it was retailing around $7.50. But you can also pick it up from Amazon. It's a little bit more expensive if you grab it from Amazon. I believe it was around $13, $14 on Amazon. So this has got a lot of those fun Asian new generation filters. For example, it contains Uvinol A+, Tenosorb S, Polysilicone 15, Tenosorb M, Uvinol T150, and Uvisorb HEB. It is a chemical sunscreen. Most of those filters are chemical filters, but the Tenosorb S and Tenosorb M have that potential to have a bit of a white cast depending on your skin tone. I've always found that those filters really depend on your skin tone, how you wear it, and also what kind of lighting you're in as far as if you're going to see a cast or if it's gonna look clear. Some other nice ingredients in here: it contains niacinamide, which I personally like niacinamide for my skin. I do have pretty oily skin, and I feel like products with niacinamide help to kind of control some of those oils. If you are not a fan of niacinamide, definitely skip this one. Centella asiatica, hyaluronic acid, panthenol, green tea, and adenosine. This one doesn't have much of a fragrance. I would say that it's fragrance free. I don't believe it has any water resistance claims. So they call this a sun essence. I don't know, to me when I think of an essence, I don't really think of like a gel cream necessarily, and this is definitely like a gel cream type of texture. I feel like the texture is pretty similar to like the Beauty of Joseon, which is somewhat of a thicker gel consistency. It's very smooth, it slips easily, but it's not as watery as some of the other, you know, Korean and Japanese sunscreens that we've reviewed on this channel. And as far as the finish, I'd say that this is more of a natural, somewhat glow depending on the product you have under. You guys will see. So as always, I tested this one on with bare skin, with some of my normal skincare, so a moisturizer and my acne serum, and then I also tested it out underneath makeup. The first day that I wore it, I had it on bare skin just to really feel the actual texture of it without any other products on my face. I went ahead and applied it on my entire face and neck, and I feel like it rubbed in really easily. There wasn't a whole lot of tugging and pulling to get it to blend in. It spread out pretty easily as well. Initially it does feel a little bit tacky, but then when you let it dry down completely, it doesn't feel like there's much on your face. It is super lightweight. I found that it was hydrating, it was moisturizing enough on its own. I really don't think you need to layer this necessarily with other products. So if you have oily skin and you like to keep things light, you can definitely wear this on its own. If you have more dry skin, you might need a little bit more moisture under it, but for my skin, I felt like it was adequate. There is a very ever so slight cast in my opinion. It's not really prominent. I would definitely be able to wear this day to day out and about, and you know, people won't notice that my face looks white and it wouldn't really bother me, but I just want to note that there's a really slight cast. So if you are a little bit deeper complexion than me, you might see more of a cast than I experienced, but on my skin it was manageable. After wearing it for about 2 hours and coming back, it looked really good. Like the finish looked really good. It really didn't become super glowy and radiant the longer I wore it with bare skin, so I loved the way that the finish looked on there. So the next day I wore it with my normal skincare, so for me that is an acne serum, and then I went ahead and put a little bit of a moisturizer on. So with a moisturizer under, I feel like it really changed the overall feel and experience of the sunscreen. To me, it went from a true natural finish to kind of a glowier finish, which was okay, but it also felt like the sunscreen wasn't able to dry down completely because of the other products under. So the first day when I touched my face, after a while it really felt like I had nothing on, but this day with a moisturizer it felt a little bit more tacky and there was a bit more of a residue. Also, I found that the cast showed up a little bit more with a moisturizer, and then I wore it for 2 hours, came back, and I look a little bit more greasy than I did previously. Definitely shiny and a little bit more oily than I would like, but I went ahead and blotted and reapplied. I would say with reapplication, with a moisturizer, it felt a little bit heavier with the second reapplication, and it looked a little bit more glowy and a little bit more gray. So overall, with normal skincare, I wasn't a huge fan of this sunscreen. I just think it looked a little bit too shiny for my liking, a little bit too glowy. Like, it felt like I had more residue on my face than I would like. And then the last day I wore it with makeup, and it actually works fine underneath makeup. I didn't have any issues with my makeup applying on top of it. Overall, it did work fine with makeup. It wasn't breaking up. I didn't feel like it was heavy. My makeup applied fine. Nothing was separating or anything like that. So overall, the makeup looked pretty decent. All right, now that you've seen all the footage, I wanted to talk about my overall experience with the Enjoy Super Mild Sun Essence from Scinic. I'd say overall, this was a decent sunscreen. I wasn't like blown away by any means. It just performed okay. It was nothing exceptional, but it wasn't anything bad either. If I were to continue to wear this, I would wear it with bare skin, no products on, and just leave it as is. I feel like it should work fine if I just put my acne serum on and then put the sunscreen on and skip the moisturizer, and I think that would work really well for my skin type. The cast was manageable on bare skin, so I feel like I should be able to wear it, but when I added a moisturizer, I didn't like it as much, and it worked fine with makeup. As far as who I think this would work well for, I'd say if you have oily skin, definitely wear it on bare skin, wear it as is, and it should be fine. If you lean more dry or balanced, I'd say put the moisturizer under and then put this on top of it, just to make sure that you're, moisturized well underneath. If you have a deeper complexion, be careful, you might see a bit of a cast. I saw a slight cast, so I'd say if you're any deeper than me, you might see a little bit more than that. But if you are lighter than me, you should be fine, just because the cast was so minimal on me. Have acne prone skin. I didn't experience any breakouts with this, no irritations, no sensitivities at all. And if you have sensitive eyes, personally, I was fine. I didn't feel like my eyes were irritated at all or burning with this. And if you are a makeup wearer, you should be fine applying this underneath. I probably wouldn't recommend applying this on top, just because it's not as watery as I'd like for a sunscreen to reapply on top of makeup. It's a little bit more creamy, a little bit more rich, so I just don't think it's gonna look as well on top of makeup. But I didn't try it, so I really can't say. But if you guys have tried it on top of makeup and it worked, let me know. So those are my overall thoughts on the Scinic Enjoy Super Mild Sun Essence. If you guys have tried the sunscreen and you loved it, let me know. If you tried it and you weren't a fan, you hated it, also let us know down in the comments section below. Don't forget to leave your sunscreen recommendations as always, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye!